Hi, I'm Nancy. Welcome to my kitchen.
Today I'm making fried egg rolls, so let's review the ingredients. Here I have some minced chicken breast meat, bok choy, ginger, garlic, and I have a variety of different herbs. There's cilantro, have green onion, basil, mint, and for the seasoning I have seasoning salt mix, black pepper, cornstarch slurry, Shaoxing wine, soy sauce, sesame oil, and oyster sauce. And for the egg roll wrappers, I'm using the Weichuan brand spring roll shells. And you can find this in the freezer section of the Asian market. And for the prep, let's start with marinating the ground chicken meat. Add a bit of the seasoning salt mix here, sesame oil, and Shaoxing wine. Give this a good mix. And for the minced chicken, you can certainly use dark meat if you like. Okay, this looks good. Set this aside and let it marinate for 15 minutes. Next, let's mince the ginger and garlic together. Okay, this looks good. Next, let's cut up the bok choy. Remove as much of the larger stems. And I just like to cut it into slices. I like the flavor of the bok choy in the filling, and you can substitute this with Napa cabbage, regular cabbage, bean sprouts, and carrots, bamboo shoots, whatever vegetables you like. Okay, this is done, and next we'll cut up all the herbs. We'll mince the green onion. And I like using all these different herbs because it gives the filling a really fresh taste. Remove the mint leaves. We'll just slice it also. We'll give it a rough chop. That looks good. And for the cilantro, I'm using the entire sprig, stems and leaves together. We just rough chop. And next we have the egg roll wrappers. Just take it out of the freezer the night before to let it defrost. And when that does, it becomes pretty pliable. And here we're just going to separate each wrapper. And be careful so you don't tear any of the wrappers. And if you can't find this particular brand of egg roll wrappers, just buy whatever is available at the store. And we'll put it back into the bag so it doesn't dry out. So now all the prep is done. Let's start cooking.
Okay, I have the pan set at a medium-high heat. We'll add the oil. And the first thing we're going to do is cook off the chicken meat. And we'll cook the chicken for about a couple minutes. Okay, I'm going to turn up the heat a little bit to cook away the moisture. Okay, so it looks like the excess moisture has been cooked off. So let's remove the chicken from the pan. Okay, I gave the pan a quick wash and rinse. Let's dry it out. Heat is still set at medium-high. We'll add a bit of oil. And we'll add the ginger and garlic. Fry this for about 15 seconds. Add the bok choy. And toss this for about 30 seconds. We'll add some seasonings. We'll add the seasoning salt mix, some black pepper, sesame oil, soy sauce, oyster sauce, Shaoxing wine. Give this a good toss. And we'll return the chicken meat. Just combine it for like 30 seconds. And there's moisture here, so we'll thicken the sauce a little bit. We'll add the cornstarch slurry. Just a little thicker. Okay, so this is done. Turn off the heat. And let's remove the filling onto a baking sheet. And at this point, I like to add all the herbs. Give it a good mix. And I'm adding all the herbs at the end. This will help the herbs retain all the bright flavors in the mixture. So now the filling is all done. We need to let this mixture cool down before we can wrap the egg rolls. So set this aside for about 20 to 25 minutes. And while we're waiting for the filling to cool down, I'm going to make a Thai-style sweet chili dipping sauce for the egg rolls. I have the heat set at medium. I'm adding some water. I have some rice vinegar. And I'm using the clear rice vinegar. It's not seasoned. We'll add some minced garlic. Sugar. I have a bit of salt, and this is a Sichuan pepper flakes. And if you don't have pepper flakes, you can also use chili sauce. Turn the heat up to medium-high. Stir this. And we'll let this come up to a boil. And stir it around so the sugar melts. Okay, so it's come back up to a boil. I've turned it back down to a medium. And we'll let this simmer for 5 minutes. Okay, 5 minutes has elapsed. I'll turn off the heat. And you can see that the liquid has reduced quite a bit. And the sugar is caramelized. And it's going to thicken up as it cools down. So put this aside and we'll continue with the rest of the prep.
Now we're ready to wrap the egg rolls. The filling has cooled down, and here I have 1 egg yolk that I whisked up, and this is going to help seal the egg rolls when we wrap it. And on the side here, I have a baking tray lined with wax paper. You can also use parchment paper. So let's start wrapping the egg rolls. So take your egg roll wrapper and lay it at a diagonal, like in a diamond shape. And we'll use about 1 tablespoon of filling. I like to roll the top up and then take it back and roll it over 1 time. Take the sides together and we'll roll it up. And I'll dip my hand into the egg yolk and seal this. And this looks good. Set it aside on your tray. So 1 tablespoon of filling. We'll fold the bottom tip up and roll it back and fold it over 1 time. Bring the 2 edges together and we'll roll it up. The egg yolk will seal the edges. And you want to make all the egg rolls the same size. One tablespoon of filling. Bring the bottom up and roll it back and roll it over 1 time. Bring the 2 edges together. Give it a roll. Add a dab of egg yolk and that should seal it. And that looks good. So just repeat the process with the entire package. And while you're wrapping the egg rolls here, remember to put a pot of oil on the stove and bring it up to about 350 degrees. And once you fill up the tray here, I like to add another piece of wax paper on top so they all don't stick together. We'll continue rolling this until we have wrapped all 25 wrappers. And it looks like I may have just enough filling. And I have just enough filling for all 25 wrappers. Ooh, perfect. Okay, so all the wrapping is done. Let's start frying it up.
I have a pot of oil here. It's set at 350 degrees, and I also have a tray with a rack on top to lay the egg rolls on when they're done. And one way to check to see if your oil is ready for frying is to put a chopstick in, and once the oil starts bubbling around the chopstick, it's ready to use. So I'll fry up about 8 egg rolls. Slowly put it in. Okay. And this is going to take about 5 minutes to brown up. Hey, these egg rolls looks good. Let's remove it from the oil. They're a nice light golden brown color. And this took about 4 minutes. Your cooking time may vary according to how many egg rolls you put in. Okay, turn off the heat. Now let the egg rolls drain for a little bit to remove any excess oil. And that looks really good. Okay, so let's plate this. And since I've only cooked up 8 egg rolls, the remaining egg rolls here, I'm going to put it in the freezer and let them freeze individually. And once they're frozen, I'll put it into a freezer bag. And it can keep anywhere between 3 to 4 weeks. And you can also double up the recipe. And you should have plenty in time for the holidays and have egg rolls anytime you like. Okay, so let's plate this. Put the egg rolls on the side here. Oh, they sound really crispy. We've also put the dipping sauce here. And the dipping sauce you can make extra, and this will keep in the fridge for 3 to 4 weeks. And here we have a super delicious plate of crispy fried egg rolls with a Thai-style sweet chili dipping sauce. The mixture of herbs and the bok choy gives it a really nice fresh flavor. It's not going to taste heavy at all. And this is a favorite thing that I like to make during the holidays for family and friends. So take the time and make up a whole batch, put in the freezer, and you can have egg rolls anytime you like. And egg rolls are a very popular dish served during the holidays and Chinese New Year's. They represent good fortune because they look like gold bars. Oh, but wait, let's cut one open and see what it looks like. I'll use a pair of scissors. And you can hear the crunch. Oh, that is crispy. It has a really super herbaceous smell. You can see the layers of the egg roll wrapper. It's going to have a super nice crunch. Well, let's give it a try. Wow, that's super delicious. Enjoy! Okay, let's see if Shadow likes it. Ooh, she likes crispy fried egg rolls too. Thank you for watching, everyone. Until next time, eat well and be healthy. Join me on Facebook. Good girl.